do you feel like you were fairly portrayed in this season?
Who's first?
You go first. I know you
Either
got
one.
tons of stuff to say.
Ladies first.
So for me, they showed me like a sweet, classy woman that I am. So I think that was fairly, true the way they showed me on on the show. However, they didn't show the side of me being this boss chick, this entrepreneur that's juggling multiple businesses. I do like the fact that they did show me as a loving and caring mom, which I am. I'm very into my kids and what they're doing. Um, and they also, what I do have a problem with is them not really, it's just the way they have me as, I always say, it's like a Stepford wife. They have me looking like a Stepford wife that doesn't have a voice. It's always, okay, Jamie, whatever you say. I don't really come back with a lot of responses back to him. And that's not really our reality. In reality, I have a lot to say. I have a big mouth, you know. Some people may say I'm the aggressive one.
He's like, listen.
And they got him as the bully and the aggressive one. But that's really, for me, that was all that I kind of saw.
Jamie, what about you? Because on the reunion, I saw that, you were reacting to a lot of people and what they were saying on social media and you being portrayed. And you even said to your wife, listen, I feel like you kind of put me out there to look like that. How are you feeling about how you were portrayed this season?
So when I said that comment, that was based on her confessionals. When she says, Jamie can be aggressive. Like she said that numerous times.
Okay.
And I felt like, I know how confessionals work. I know they kind of tell you what happened and how do you feel about that. So they're leading her to say he's aggressive. Mm-hmm. My thing is, I'm a 70s baby. Okay. We weren't raised in this world we in today where all these kids are soft and entitled and spoiled and they think anything somebody raise their voice is a problem. Like we really had to work. We had to change our own oil on our cars. We had to change our brakes. Like that's how I grew up. So fast forward to when we met in the early 90s, she didn't have much structure of, how to be an adult. She was a spoiled brat. So she'll tell you that. Yeah. So when I said I created the boss, yes. Let's say the woman or the mother or the wife, I said the boss. And I strictly said boss if you watch it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you did. You did. I wrote that down. You said boss.
Yeah. And when I said that, that was pertaining to someone who just wants to get up and do a 9 to 5 like we were trained or our parents were trained.
Okay.
I was not like that. I always had ambition on just being rich one day. And when we met, she was just shopping and spending and doing this. And I said, wait a minute, this is not how I was raised. Like you have to save money. So I said all that to say over 28, 9, 30 years, I've kind of introduced her to the entrepreneur world, acting. She put the work in, don't get it twisted. Okay. But I supported it. I invested in her. I coached her. We had mentors. Like all this is creating with this self-made millionaire. Raina has made multi-millions of dollars in various ventures. So everybody with these opinions, how many men have made you millionaires before you got an opinion of me?
Right. I think it was just the word created that kind of set people off.
Because I looked
God created her. You didn't create
her. But
if
you know this reality world, when you're in the heat of the hot seat, which I was in, everything ain't gonna be perfect.
Right.
I'm not thinking about all this bull crap
but people
4 or 5 months later. I'm just like, you asked me a question. I said, I helped create a boss, self-made millionaire.
And I knew what he was saying. That's why I agreed to it.
Right. And because I saw you were like, you know your husband and you know what went on, so you were like, okay, yeah, I see that. But then the reactions of the other cast members were kind of like clutching their pearls, like, ooh, like, what did you think about their reactions when he said that?
So let's talk about reactions. So those reactions could have been from something else.
True.
So don't forget about editing. So it could have been a whole different conversation that we were having at the reunion that brought those reactions out by the cast members. But the way editing is, they wanted to look like it was just this shocking moment that Erana agreed to him saying I was created, and they used those expressions, and it could have been just something from another conversation that we had.
When that camera cuts, you don't know where that next footage is coming from. Right. Trust me.
Now, so my question going off that is, how do you feel about the editing of Love and Marriage season 1?
So for me, and to piggyback on that, my personal way I was portrayed, I don't like it, to be honest with you. And because I was handcuffed by my career, I came on this really in support of her and not really for the bullshit, if I can curse.
Yeah.
And it took a while for me to start giving them what they wanted. And if you notice early on, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
I'm eating my food, a laugh here. You ask me a question, I'm not getting into it. I'm gonna give you, we went through a lot. Next question. And they were actually calling her about it. Like, he gotta open up more. Yeah. And I'm saying to myself, I don't have a middle. So if y'all keep triggering me, y'all gonna get a real reaction. Okay. So what you see is her saying, just react. I don't care. We're gonna be good regardless. The girls, Monique and Ashley, coming for me in scenes because they wanted me to go off.
To react.
And that's not really what I signed up for. So then when I do it, that's all you show. You don't show me and her laughing and dry humping each other and all this, or me and the kids out at the strip club. They don't show none of that. And that's what I had a problem. Like, if you gonna show the mean, show the fun too. Because in real life, everybody know I'm the fun life of the party guy in real life. But you don't show. That's why on TikTok, everybody like, why they don't show this?
No, I love YouTube, like your TikToks. They're so funny. And I'm like, I did not see this during the show, but your TikToks are very funny. But you would never know that. Like,
so for me, as far as editing, the only thing that I had, and that's just to say that the production was absolutely amazing. We enjoyed working with them. But for me, it was the businesses. So I've watched reality shows. I watch them currently. Right. And when we were asked to be on Love and Marriage DC, I actually went back to Love and Marriage Huntsville to watch how they, did their seasons and how episode 1 and, what did they do to prepare for it. And I was like, okay, let's watch episode 1. I want to see how that show started. And based on what I saw was that they were showcasing their businesses. They were in real estate. They had a real estate group.
Yeah.
Just by watching that, I said, you know what? I know what we need to do. We need to have all of our businesses lined up. I need to order clothes for my boutique so I can showcase my boutique. Yes. I need to reach out to my credit clients so they can know, like, just in case I may need to meet with you because we're going to be filming.
Right.
We had the house in DC that you saw on one of the episodes. We had to make sure that we have a property that we can go through just to showcase that we do real estate.
Of course.
All this was prepared and lined up before we started filming.
Yeah.
And a lot of those businesses were not shown. Yeah. So for me, the reason why we got on this platform was to elevate our businesses, to grow our businesses, to let people see what we do in real life. And they did not showcase those things. So that was a problem for me. I did an entire fashion show for a breast cancer. It was amazing. The cast members were models. Vivian, who has the store in Bethesda, Vivian who customizes beautiful dresses. She helped me with it. It was at her store in the mall. And I spent money and it was a long day.
Yeah.
And they did not air it on the show, which I thought would have been because it was for a great cause and we put a lot of work into it. And throughout the episodes leading up to that, we talked about it on our confessionals. I'm excited about my event. It's a breast cancer event. It's for a great cause. So a lot of things that I thought was going to be shown and aired on TV was taken out. My marathon, I prepared for a half marathon the entire season. My marathon was in March, the end of March. We started.
That's why your body is banging.
And that was really one of the reasons why I went to the plastic surgeon for a consultation, because my storyline was, I'm preparing for this half marathon. I've lost so much weight preparing for this and training for it.
Okay.
I feel like I need to get a butt back or some hips or something because I just lost everything.
Yeah.
But because they didn't show the half marathon, although we talked about it in lots of confessionals and lots of scenes, it was not shown.
That makes so much sense and adds so much context to a lot. Now, what do those conversations look like when you realize some of those important moments that you thought would be on the show aren't there? Like, what do those conversations with like production producers look like?
So we haven't really spoken to any producers since we've seen the entire season.
Okay.
They probably been watching all the interviews.
Yeah.
I'm sure, because every interview we're talking about the same thing.
Right.
So we personally haven't really spoken to any of the producers on how we feel about editing or things that just wasn't shown.
Oh, I got something to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm waiting on them to call because I got stuff to say.
I'm hoping that if we do a season 2, that before we agree to a season 2, that we can all have like a conversation about how we felt about editing, how we were portrayed on the show. Hopefully we can have these conversations before we move forward on signing another contract for the next season.
And that was going to be my question. Before you agree to a season 2, are you going to make sure that you have these conversations with production about the portrayal and also the editing?
Absolutely. And I think the other cast members would agree as well. We're all on the same page, pretty much.
Okay, Jamie, what do you think?
And I mean, like people say, when you get on reality TV, you know what you signed up for. When I signed up, I said, OWN is not Bravo. I know Bravo wants all the mess. I was definitely not with doing no Bravo reality TV. OWN, I felt was more family, business.
Definitely.
I know they want drama, and I got that. I said, they can get y'all that. I didn't sign up for that. And with my career, I can't really be in confrontation with people because I carry a gun for a living. So it's all a calculated, performance by me, basically. I was trying to really ease through season 1 without no bullshit. And everything I gave them is all they focused on. You know what I'm saying? I said, I'll give you that. I'll argue with her. I'll let the kids turn up with me. And that's all you showed. And then you don't know, but I had a scheduled colonoscopy during filming. And I said, hey guys, I got to do a colonoscopy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to film this day. They was like, no, we want to cover that. It'll be great for men's health and men can see.
For sure.
So I had to get all this stuff approved, getting my dates moved around to accommodate them, and they ain't show it.
Oh, wow.
So now I got a whole day of footage from when we left the house, the procedure, and the follow-up, and none of it made TV. So now I'm like, this audience really don't know nothing about me other than I'm fussing.
And then that kind of leads to my next question, because obviously during the first part of the reunion, the abuse allegations was a large part of that. People saying that they felt you were controlling. And now you're saying like, well, they never saw anything, pretty much positive in light of me. Of course, they're going to, only think bad things. Kind of tell them, like, set the record straight about these controlling abuse allegations that people are making.
So I can speak on, and then she can wrap it up. But for me, what's controlling? Because I run my house. Like she runs her day. I run my day. The overall household, if something go wrong, who gonna have to handle it? Me. And it's always been like that. So I'm a man of the house. I'm not no pushover dude, never will be, and I'm not switching up for TV. So if we have to have a tough conversation, we're gonna have it, and then we're gonna move on. It's not nobody fighting. I carry a gun for it. I've been a police for 25 years. Okay. I've seen it all. If you can imagine it, I've seen it. And I'm at the end in 2 months, I'll be retired. Okay. So I say all that to say no man in law enforcement, military, any of those is going to just get on TV and become a soft pushover dude. So if y'all perceive that as controlling them, that's what it is. I'm 49 years old. I'm not 30. I don't have no aspirations of saying, oh, I'm a just dumb down who I am for TV. No. If Raina confront me and it trigger me, I'm gonna respond, she gonna respond, we gonna have it, and then we gonna move on, just like we do in real life. And then because TV is only showing you that, you don't see after we argue, I'm like, girl, shut up, give me a kiss.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They don't want you to see
That's
that.
just like with the intuitive healer. Remember?
Yes.
I can't remember what episode. When the last question that Terry asked was, "Do you love Erana?" And then just went away. It went off. It never came back for him to continue the conversation. It just disappeared and they went on to something else.
Right.
So it left the audience like, oh, he's abusive. He doesn't love his wife, you know, all kinds of things like that, which is crazy.
Now, Jamie, do you regret, you know, touching her face in that moment based on like how it looked on TV and how it was perceived?
You talking about when I did like this?
Yeah.
Because that's what I did like that.
Yeah.
No, I don't, because in real life, what was going on, what you don't know, I had a sold out event going on, real life. And I talked to them and I said, you got to this time frame to get this scene in, and then you got to get out the way. They went an hour over what we talked about.
Okay.
So at this point of that scene, they're in the dance floor, they're in front of the bar, there's cameras everywhere. I have at that point probably over 100 people in the venue who just paid $40 or more to get in. I got a line down the street, and I got my partner saying, hey, people leaving. There's no music playing because of copyright issues. So they got their copywritten music playing. So I slide out the scene. When you don't see me, that's because I'm fussing. I'm like, bruh, y'all told me this time. And they said, yeah, give me 10 more minutes. They're talking about winter and this bullshit. And I'm done with that. I was done 4 episodes ago. And I said, no, you don't understand. Y'all in my event now. This is a $10,000 weekend for me. This got to stop. And they like, no, give me some more time. I said, I'm done. I walked right up to her. I said, we're done. And she was right. And I wanted her to look at me in my eyes and say, I'm for real. But she was like, basically telling the producer to get me. And I was like, y'all not listening. I'm not playing no more. I don't care what nobody said at this point. It's over. Get up. We're going to have fun. And you heard what I said. That was real. If they would have showed me behind the camera, you'd have saw me going off on them. Yeah. And then she can tell
it was very chaotic. As you can see, even it was loud in there. Yeah. So everyone was talking over top of each other. And the scene that he walked into was me leaning over the table trying to talk to Tasha, you know, and it looked like we kind of were getting into it. When we really wasn't, because it was just so loud and she was so far away from me. I had to lean over the table to actually just explain what I was trying to tell her. And the producers were still trying to get us to have dialogue. Jamie was trying to shut it down. And I was looking at the producers. Jamie's trying to shut me up. And I'm looking at the producers. I'm trying to tell Jamie, move away. Because the producers are still trying to shoot a scene. So I kind of felt in the middle of everything. I was like, well,
it sounds chaotic. It was so chaotic. I was like, it sounds even more chaotic.
Yes, it was like a mess. I was like, he's trying to shut me down and shut me up. They're trying to tell me to keep going. So if you look at that actual scene, you see me looking at a producer, not the girls and not Jamie. And I'm like, go away, because I'm looking at the producers, and the producers like, we gotta keep going. But my husband at the same time is like, shut it down.
It's over. I have all these people waiting for me. I have this money on the line. Now, Erana, go on something else. Do you regret sharing with the group about the red light and about Jamie not coming home? Do you regret even opening that can of worms?
I do and I don't. So I do, let's say, yeah. Okay. Because I didn't know it was going to go this far, and I didn't know that Winter was going to make a joke out of it. Okay. At the time when we were at the table, we were talking about just things going on in our marriage. Right. Of course, Monique wanted to know some information about how do you all manage how long you've been together, and how what did she ask? What was the question she asked?
She's like, what's the secret? Like she was pretty much trying to do like a marriage counseling type of like.
And I think what happened was then Ashley was like, no, we want to know the real tea. It was like, no, we want to know the dirt. We want to know really like what's really happening. So that is what brought up the infidelity, because it was like, damn, what do I talk about? And everything that I spoke on was from 10, 15 years ago.
Right.
And I had to let people know that. I'm like, currently in the last few years, Jamie and I have been in a really good place. Okay. I mean, we have no problems. I mean, of course, we're going to argue about little petty things, but the infidelity and none of that stuff has occurred. It's from the past. And I kind of regret just even bringing it up because it just happened. It's just like it just kept on going throughout the season. Red light special, your husband cheating, the audience now saying he's currently cheating or I'm currently cheating. Like everything that I talked about was from 10, 15 years ago, but the audience is now thinking that both of us are cheaters and things that currently happen like right here, right now.
Jamie, do you wish that she didn't share that?
So I just want to, and I've said it before, I don't know if it's going to make the reunion, but the facts of that, what she said, she called my phone late at night. I was out. I didn't answer. When I called her back, it was late. And where the red stop sign, whatever she said coming from, to me, I personally really don't know where that's coming from. I may have said, I'm at the light. I'm almost there. I don't know because it was so long ago. But what she said is fact. She called me one night years ago and I was out late. Okay. The whole red light thing to me, and I'm saying to her, where you get that from? You got me falling asleep at a red light? Like that ain't even make sense. So on that note, yeah, because it looks like I'm pissy drunk at a light sleep. Like that's not what happened.
You're like, it looks crazy.
Yeah. And I felt too also, Winter came into the situation. She was telling us things that was going on in her marriage and her past relationship. And I was actually trying to build a friendship with her at that time.
Okay.
And I was trying to kind of be relatable to things that she had going on in her past. So you know how girlfriends are sometimes, they were like, well, girl, this happened to me. Yeah. Just to make her see like, we've been together for 26 years, but don't think it's been sweet all this time.
Right.
What you went through, I went through it 10 times 10. So I was kind of trying to have that conversation with her, but then it just blew up and backfired it. So.
Will you do season 2 if Winter is on there?
I would do season 2 even if Winter's on there because again, I don't have to film with her.
Okay.
That's she's a friend of Monique. She's a friend of the show. So if she does decide to come back, she could film with Monique. That's her friend. I don't have to be in scenes with Monique.
But you don't want to be in scenes with her.
No, I don't.
Jamie, do you feel the same way?
For me, if you know anything about a Taurus, when you cross me, you're dead. And I mean, unfortunately, there's no fixing. I could deal with Winter if she was like doing a shade directly at a scene. But when you get on TV and say, oh, I got a picture of your man with a girl, when I know you don't, like, are you trying? Like, we have an empire. We have assets. We have money in account. We have real estate. We have kids, parents. Like, why are you attacking my marriage for clout or for fame? I don't respect that. I would never do that to nobody. And even the original cast had a meeting, kids off limits, and your marriage is off limits. You don't come on TV to say, I'm trying to get these people divorced or separated. That's a clown trainer mindset. Yeah. And I don't want to be near her. I very much hold grudges. And what I might say to her, it's going to be what it's going to be. And I'd rather not see her ever again as far as I'm concerned.
And you guys don't know, there's been issues after the reunion.
Oh.
So that's the thing. That's why we're saying we don't want to film with her. We still want to come back for season 2, but there's a reason. It's not just what you all saw throughout the season. It's not what you just saw at the reunion. After the reunion, there's been some exchange of her sending me messages saying that she had receipts on me, my husband, and my kids. And that's why I draw the line. Like, you don't come for my kids. You don't talk about my kids. So I had to block her from social media. I don't want to have anything else to do with her. And I definitely, to answer your question, I do not want to film with her.
Okay. So there's more that we didn't see that has been, so it hasn't stopped.
No, it hasn't stopped.
And for the record, let me just add this. We don't know this woman, never intended on hanging with her or being on TV with her. She's trying to get a spot on a TV show. And at this point, she don't care what she got to do it. You can't tell me you got dirt on me. I don't know you exist other than right now because you're in front of me. Like, I don't know you. So get my name out your mouth. And you're going to see that tomorrow night when I say that.
Whew, I can't wait because I'm eager. Now, another moment during the reunion was when people were talking about how you checked Erana out in public. And Quick and Ashley, they kind of jumped in like, we don't check each other out in public. Do you feel at all that they kind of like, threw you guys under the bus at all, or were comparing situations?
I feel like everybody's going to say what's TV appropriate. In the real world, I know the answers to all this stuff. Like, I've been around it. Let's just say that. So what we had happening wasn't even filmed. It was it was my event. She showed up. We had issue and we moved on. Because it made TV is because it was drama and because she told the producer it happened. So they wanted to reenact it for the cameras. We had moved on. I mean, and that's why I keep saying what married couple don't have issues where the man might raise his voice. I was drinking. She was coming from the event with Winter. I didn't know all that stuff happened at that time. So you got two worlds colliding over a minor issue. I didn't walk outside, look around and see who's around. I just saw what happened and I reacted. I was like, why did you move the car? And I was probably hyper. And you saw behind the house, I said, okay, I'm sorry. That night, it didn't end good. It was like she left and I went back into my event. But to sit on TV and say, I would never raise my voice, come on, stop it. Everybody stop it. Y'all could say that for TV. Y'all would have never known it happened if she didn't tell them. And it wouldn't even be an issue.
Yeah, but it was outside of filming.
It went with the Jamie narrative.
Now, we haven't seen part 2 of the reunion yet, but I'm expecting some bombshells, especially based on how it ended. It ended with the cheating allegations. And it was interesting because Quick and Ashley, they were going off. You two were calm. I saw towards the end, you guys may have started but it seemed like you guys were kind of at that point unbothered about the cheating allegations. What can we expect part 2 of the reunion?
Ooh, part 2. So it's going to pick up from Winter and her little fake receipts.
Okay.
And Mr. Jamie Tyler is going to show y'all the 100% Taurus that he is.
Oh,
so he's going to go in. And he's gonna light that chair on fire.
The only difference with me and Quick, when it all what you saw so far, I assumed all that was about Quick because I don't know her or the dude they talking about. So I'm like,
yeah, we were kind of like,
I'm like, you ain't talking about me. And then as it picks up tomorrow, I think it came out Jamie and Quick, and she said yes, both of them pictures or something. I said, then I said. I ain't gonna tell you what's gonna happen, but I reacted.
We were kind of like, and the reason why we were kind of like just not reacting like Quick and Ash, reunion 1. For me personally, I was just shocked for her to even come on stage because the editing part was that she received it 48 hours before the reunion. You all didn't get that. So I was sitting in confusion from just that comment she made. She said, I got it in 48 hours. So I'm looking at her and asking her, I say, 48 hours? I said, well, why would someone send you something in 48 hours? Did you tell people we were coming to the reunion? Because we wasn't supposed to share that we were having a reunion. So I was like, this must be from a friend of hers. I'm just sitting there like trying to like understand why would somebody send receipts on us in the 48 hours? So that's why I was just sitting there just trying to like take it all in, like what is really happening right now?
It's like
it seemed like you two were just like over there.
I'm sitting here like, and who and what?
And then I saw towards the end, so I'm like, okay, I'm expecting part 2 for you guys to like react to like, hold on, what is going on?
Yeah, so part 2 is when it really picks up because at that time she's still going off and saying all this dumb stuff.
Now, based on you two obviously being in part 2 of the reunion, is there anything else that you expect to like blow up on social media to be a talking point that you want to set the record clear about?
I know for me, I saw how they did quick because of his reaction, and he supposedly called her the B word when he clearly said that, dude. As I sit here today, I know I cussed her out, and I don't care what y'all say.
Okay.
I said in episode 2 or 3, if you come for me, it's war. And she came for me on TV for her spot, and it was war for that brief time frame. And whatever I said, I don't even know, but we gonna see tomorrow. And
do you wish, Erana, do you wish he would have stayed out of it? Or are you okay with him addressing Winter directly?
Oh, I'm definitely okay with that. Yes. Yes, I'm okay with it.
Because the problem is, like I said earlier, and I said something to the effect of, my wife's sitting right here. Why are they sending you? We don't know you. If somebody want to get me in trouble with my wife, she's right here. She's on social media. Send it to her. Who the fuck are you? Why are they sending it to you? You don't even know me. So stay out. Why? I don't understand why this is important in your life to even bring up. When anybody in the world, oh, I want to mess up Jamie's household. If he did this, just send it right to her. And I said, send it to her.
That's why I was trying to understand, like, why is someone sending you receipts to bring on to the reunion?
I'm like,
this don't even make sense.
I said, if you got me in your phone, send it to her now, please. No, I'm not gonna do that. I said, but then shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it gets really heated
because it's like, well, then tell me what it is. Just don't tell me what it is. Send it. Do whatever you gotta do.
Right, and that's why I asked her. So I was like, well, why bring it up? Even when she was talking about Quick and Ashley. Right. I'm like, why are you bringing it up if you don't have anything?
Right.
Why bring it up?
Now, and so, Erana, anything that you are expecting to show up part 2 of the reunion that you're like, let me clear the air because I know people are going to have something to say about?
And see, again, with editing, we don't know what they're going to show because we haven't seen
you haven't seen the reunion?
We watch it just like you guys watch it.
Oh, wow.
So Jamie and I do get into a heated argument. And we thought, because everything has been switched around because the boys actually came on before Winter. But they showed the reunion with Winter first. So that's why I was like, I just don't know how editing and how they're going to have things flowing. But I know Jamie and I got into a heated conversation before Winter, right? That they didn't show, but I'm thinking they may show reunion too, the second half. And again, it's something that was when the kids were little. It was I just was just going on and on about something that happened when the kids were growing up. So I don't want them to be like, oh, they still having an disagreement. They're still arguing. Things are still going on in their marriage now.
Yeah,
something that happened when the kids were younger that we had an argument about and disagreement about. But other than that, I can't think of anything, right?
Well, speaking of kids, I hope everything is okay with little Jamie. I think that was something, although the situation obviously is horrible, I think that was something that people could relate to and that it really made you guys feel like look human, and like parent mode. Like, when he came to you like the night, like, hey, I have court tomorrow, that was just such like a parent moment, like, listen, okay, we gotta go to court, and I think just you getting emotional of when you guys were at the looking for cars and all of that. I think that was something that probably took a lot to show, but I think it was important to show and people see like how great like parents you two are. So I think
let's just say this is still ongoing. Like even this morning he had a virtual hearing. And it was chaos because he texted me saying that it was supposed to be at 8:00 and then it was 11:00, but we had a conference call with his attorney. So it's still going on. Nothing has been resolved as of yet. Hoping and praying something, nothing drastic comes out of it.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm gonna definitely pray for you guys too. He seems like a nice young man. He really does, and that came across. That really did come across. Like
he's doing really good things. You all will see. I don't want to give up too much information from the reunion, but you'll see that he's been really doing good since that incident happened.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
And he got a car. He did get a car.
Yeah, he got his car.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm happy about that. Definitely keeping you guys in my thoughts and prayers with that situation.
Thank you.
Well, all right, I'm gonna let you guys go. I know you guys have a busy day probably or exhausted from being so busy lately.
Yes. Oh my goodness.